Okay, I know in the last tutorial I said we're going to go over if blocks, but I got a little ahead of myself there. First, we need to go over variables. First of all, what is a variable? A variable is basically it's an object that holds information. It could be an integer, which is a number, or a string, which is just normal text, or it could be an object. For instance, like the dialogue here is a global variable that is picked up throughout here that sets the size in this automatic resize event. And where we put hello world down here, it also tells it what ID to use. So right here, it's basically picking up the ID from this method here or function, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go ahead and call them functions because we're in Lua, but the method and a function is the same thing if you ever hear anybody talk about those two things. And then also the LBL hello, the same thing applies. It equals basically the return of this, which it returns the ID of LBL hello back and then is used down here. Then we also have local variables. They will be covered in a later tutorial when we get more into functions that talk about how they work into scope. But for now, we're going to avoid them. So, just a real quick example on this. We're going to turn hello world, the message down here, into a variable. So to do this, we need a name for this variable. Let's just call this variable message, and it could be anything you want it to be. Usually you want to keep things coherent for when you have to go back and reread them so you're able to easily upgrade your code. Anyways, let's take the hello world message here. I'm a big fan of copy paste, control C, or of course you can go this way, copy, and then of course control V to paste right there. So now we have a variable message that equals hello world. And like I said, this could also be a number here, or just about any other thing, which would be called a class, which we'll cover in a later tutorial. But anyways, for this one, let's go ahead and take the message variable, and down here, let's put the variable in instead of the straight string there. So we have hello world. Let's just change it up. And also to clarify, when I say variable, variables are also attributes. And sometimes you'll hear them referred to as even properties in different languages. Me, myself, I code multiple languages, so I have all kinds of terminology in my head. Anyways, we have the hello world, I am a attribute, and now we have it pumping into here. Let's go ahead and hit test and show you how it works, and then that'll be the end of this tutorial. And there we go. We got a so now says hello world. I am an attribute, which is carrying away from that attribute up there being pumped into the label set message or set text. Sorry. Now on our next tutorial, I promise this time we're going to get into if blocks. Pretty sure, anyways.